Hey, everybody. It is just after 2 p.m. here at the Erie Playhouse, and Erie Gives rolls on. I'm joined by a few cast members from Over the Tavern. We will get to these guys in just a second. But first, I want to give you a quick update. Of course, those donations continue to come in at eriegives.org. And just before we went on this live stream, we had an update. You can see on the graphic here, it is 27,553. However, I'm happy to say that graphic is already out of date, as our total, if I refresh my phone here, has gone up to $27,603, raised by 146 donors. So we are making progress, having a great day so far here for Erie Gives. Again, you can donate through midnight at eriegives.org, or you can call us by phone, call the Community Foundation at 814-454-0843. If you're making that donation by phone, you need to call before 8 p.m. today. So we hope you will make that call or head to eriegives.org. And also want to point out, no credit card or transaction fees. Those are all covered by the sponsors of Erie Gives this year. So you will not have any additional fees. And of course, a portion of your donation will be matched, and that helps us as well. So we are grateful for all of your support. Now, as I said, with me here on stage, a couple of the cast members from Over the Tavern. Now, they've only been cast members of Over the Tavern for about 3 days since the cast list came out on Friday, and have probably not read the script yet. I don't know that they even all have the script yet. So first up, we have Jess Flock, who will be playing Ellen in Over the Tavern, and then Mandy Berlin, who is playing Annie, and Oren Stifler, who's playing Rudy. I'm very excited to have this group together, and I think it's actually the first time that you've been together since the cast list came out. I think it might be the first time some of you are actually meeting too. So how's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I was excited to meet Oren today because now I've been a fan since Once Upon a Mattress.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's one of the great things about doing community theater, is when you suddenly get to share the stage with someone that you've looked up to for months in this case, right, Mandy? So Oren, I'll actually put you on the spot first. Since you're the youngest and the newest, you're representing youth theater with your t-shirt there. You've been in a couple of youth theater shows, right? How many shows have you done?
I think I've done about 4, and everyone has been super good.
Name them, please, if you would.
I've done Lyle Crocodile.
And
Diary
is that
of a
where you
Wimpy Kid.
played Hector P. Valenti, star of Stage and Screen?
Star of Stage and Screen.
Yeah.
I was Rowley in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Phantom Toll Booth, I was Talk the dog. Yeah.
That's right.
And
doing
Once
great
Upon
so
a
far.
Mattress, I was the king who is mute.
All right. You are 4 for 4. He got all of those right. So now I'm going to have Mandy name every role she's ever played. No, I'm not going to do that. Mandy, you are playing Annie. You're playing Oren's older sister in this show. You and I had the pleasure of working together last summer on the Da Vinci Code. I know, scripts have not necessarily gone out yet, and I don't know how much you know about the show at this point, but a little bit of a different experience, probably, Da Vinci Code to this one, right?
yeah, so I think Da Vinci Code has been a representation of what I've been doing lately in theater, which is trying to play older. I've always been short. I've always been babyface, so I spent a lot of time trying to convince audiences and directors that I'm older than I look. But Annie is like this sweet 16-year-old at the beginning of her journey of womanhood. So now I have to go the other way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see how that goes, and to do the opposite of everything I've been trying to do. So
Yeah, absolutely. So Over the Tavern, of course, takes place in the late 50s, early 60s. I think it's 59. I'm obviously just starting to do my homework as director as well, so forgive me for not knowing all the details. But it takes place as a family that lives above the tavern that they operate in Buffalo. So I think for a lot of us here in the Erie region, there's that sort of somewhat local tie-in as well. Jess, you are playing Ellen, the matriarch of the family, and mother to these 2 adorable children. What are you looking forward to about this production?
just getting to do a play again. It's been over a decade, I think, since the last time I was in a straight play. I think Angels in America was the last one, which was 2015.
Yeah.
But also, growing up Catholic, and my parents, my mom being part of a big Irish Catholic family, one of 7 kids. This is a Polish Catholic family in this one, but they're reading the script. I've read the script.
Yeah.
I for sure have read it.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I
it
believe you
just
have my copy.
Yes. And, my mother was born in 1957, and it very much just felt like I already know these people. These are my aunts and uncles. This feels like every story from their childhood growing up, going to Catholic schools. And I like that Ellen, as a character, this mother, is very involved with her kids. She's very loving. She's funny on purpose. She's very witty. And I hadn't considered auditioning for this for a long time, just because I assumed that because Rudy is our main character, it's really he's the lens, it's his story, and in the narrative sense. So I thought Ellen was going to kind of pop in and out and sort of orbit around Rudy. I didn't anticipate that she would be as fleshed out as she is and as interesting as she is, and again, as funny as she is. So I'm really looking forward to getting to play her, and then also establish the dynamic with all of these other actors, because I'm not a mother. I'm not one. I'm a mother to wiener dogs. So getting to be a mother of 4 on stage is going to be fun and challenging to do.
So, you mentioned the cast. It is very much an ensemble piece. 7 actors. We've got the 4 children, the 2 parents, and then the nun, Sister Clarissa, who plays an important role in the story as well. And I agree with you, Jess. I think, when I first read the script too, one of the things that I really loved about it is that it is very much an ensemble show. Certainly Rudy is kind of the main character in so much as he's the one kind of going through Catholic school and has some questions about Catholicism and what it means to him and all that good stuff. And so that's sort of our narrative, gateway into the play. But it really is a family piece, and it's funny, and there are serious moments, and it really is all of the things that I like in a show when I'm working on it, that there are multifaceted characters and a complex story, and but it's, I think, one that really resonates, and that's part of why it had been done here at the Playhouse a decade or so ago, and felt like time to bring it back. So I know one of our other cast members is not here today, Sue Ellen Wojciechowski. Jess, I know you've worked with Sue Ellen before. I'm not sure if you guys have, but Sue Ellen actually played the part of Ellen in the previous production, and will now be playing the part of Sister Clarissa, which was an accident on my part.
I have literally worked with her. I've never done a show with her.
Right.
I literally,
that's right.
Okay. When I was working at a temp agency, I was at her employer for like a month. So I know her through her actual work, and I like her a great deal through that. And then found out when we were working together that she also did theater. So we just became friends. And so this is the first time we'll actually get to do a show together, but we worked together in like 2010 or something.
Yeah, and I actually had the chance to direct her back during the Playhouse 100th anniversary season. We did a night of 1 acts that were 3 of the first shows ever produced by the Playhouse, and I got to direct Sue Ellen and Steve Ropsky in a play called I'm Going, which we did over at the Art Museum.
By the way, if you're ever wondering how to pronounce Sue Ellen's last name,
am I getting it right?
She explained it as her husband was in the military, and I don't want to say which branch because I might be misremembering, but he would always explain to his the guys that direct reported to him, it's like run together, where's your house key? Wojciechowski.
Wojciechowski. So I'm saying it wrong. I apologize, Sue Ellen.
That's how you say her last name.
All right. Well, I'm just going to avoid saying it and just refer to her as Sue Ellen so I don't get it wrong. But so I think that'll be an interesting experience. I now, again, I've worked with Sue Ellen. I certainly don't think she's going to say, well, here's how I did it, Jess, do it this way. But talk about what are you looking forward to as far as doing a show with someone who has played the role before?
I just think Sue Ellen is a very funny person in general. So, I mean, if she has any feedback to give me, but I'm just looking forward to like the one scene in which our characters actually get to interact, because usually she's just interacting with either Rudy or Chet, the father character. But there's one scene at the end of Act 1 where everybody is together on the stage, and I'm just really looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm not thinking too much about the fact that she's also played Ellen, because I think the other cast members that were part of that show probably shaped so much of her performance as well, as I expect this cast to shape the comedy that I'm hoping, and the performance in general that I'm hoping to bring to this Ellen. So I'm not too concerned. Also, I think it was a lot longer than a decade ago. I'm pretty sure
I
you're
think you're
thinking
right.
like
Yeah.
2 decades.
Yeah, that's
It's like
probably closer to that.
2008-ish or
Yeah.
so, even earlier than that,
It's
because
just hard for me
2008
to
was my
fathom
first show.
that 2008 was 2 decades
Yeah,
ago,
no,
but-
we've been together 2 decades, so yeah.
Well, that puts it in perspective. And actually, the role Sue Ellen is playing, I have to mention, was played by the iconic Doris Becker in that Playhouse production. And Doris is certainly one of those Playhouse names that folks remember. And, we miss her and always love Doris. So I do want to talk a little bit. So, Oren, you're kind of making the transition here from youth theater to main stage. What are you looking forward to in working on this show?
I'm looking forward to making new friends in older people, because I just hang around like people my age, and I want to branch out instead of just stay where I'm at.
Yeah, and we've got some older people here for you to be friends with. So, and also I should mention Danny Farrar is in the cast as well, playing your brother Eddie, and then Bryson Berkowitz. Or no, I'm sorry, Danny is playing Georgie, and Bryson Berkowitz is playing Eddie, and Jim Nash is playing Chet, the father. So, really excited to work with this cast and to get together and start the whole process. So. What else are we looking forward to with this one?
I'm looking forward to working with the new youth theater kids. Like I was
You
a youth theater
yourself,
girl.
right?
I was a youth theater girl. I did my first show here when I was 8 years old, and now I'm gonna be 23. So like finally seeing all the old faces that I knew in youth theater. We've all moved on to the main stage. And anytime I get to see you guys on stage or work with you guys, it just like brings back all my happy youth theater memories. And I remember being that aging and like getting to work with the older folks and thinking they were so like wise. And now I'm like, I guess I'm
Now
the
you
older
are one,
folks.
and
I'm not that wise.
yeah, you realize you were wrong that whole time, right?
Really, it's all a lie.
What was your first show when you were 8 years old?
I was in Pinkalicious. I was a dancing cupcake, and Angela Howell put a hula hoop on me with pink tulle, and we couldn't fit in the wings.
Love that. Jess, I know the answer to this, of course, but what was your first Playhouse show?
The Producers in 2008.
And did you meet anyone special during that experience?
No, I did not.
Just me? Nobody special? Yeah.
That hurts.
So you can make those donations at eriegives.org, folks. You've done a number of shows, though, in the time since The Producers in 2008. What are some of the other? Well, and
Frozen.
Again, Frozen.
We just
yes,
did
that's
that
right.
one.
You were just in
that
Frozen.
one just happened.
And you assistant directed 1776 as
Yes,
well.
I
We
did.
just had a few of the cast members on talking about that
Yes.
production. And I think one of the recurring themes that we've been talking about a lot today, and Mandy, you certainly just touched on this with your own experience, and Oren, you as well, is there's this great blend of people at the Playhouse. And one of the things I love watching as executive director is seeing performers of different ages, volunteers of different ages too, because of course we have folks working behind the scenes, in the pit, in the light booth, folks of all different ages and backgrounds coming together and working on a show. And it's rare, I think, with a main stage production to have a cast this size where there are children in the show, student performers in the show, who have significant roles in the show. It very much is an ensemble piece. Jess, I know something we were talking about is just how much, I think you and I both kind of gravitate more toward plays than musicals. What is it about working on a play in particular that kind of, is particularly enjoyable for you?
I mean, I love musicals. I love, learning choreography and singing, and especially like a lot of times doing the ensemble of a musical is a lot more fun for me than having like a feature part, because it's just less pressure and I'm more of an actor than a singer. So I love musicals, and I'm very sentimentally attached to a number of musicals. But with plays, it just feels more in my wheelhouse in terms of like what I'm capable of doing. I never feel like I'm overextending beyond what I'm what's capable for me to actually achieve. And then I also I enjoy establishing connections with my fellow actors that it feels like sometimes with musical theater, there's a bit of a veneer that it's just impossible for me to like mentally peel away. And not all performers have that issue. I have that issue. A lot of people are very sincere with musical theater. My brain doesn't work that way. I have a lot of trouble. It's like as soon as I start singing, I lose the ability to act for some reason. But that doesn't happen when I'm just talking. So I have a much easier time actually acting in a straight play. And I just think they're fun. I don't know. I just feel like I'm better at them. I feel like I have an easier time being an actor in a straight play. And I feel like I have an easier time connecting the material. And part of it might be the fact that I'm a reader. I'm an English major. I have multiple degrees in English. And I always come from a text-based perspective. And in musicals, the text kind of matters less a lot of the time. Because, in a musical like Cats, you can analyze the text if you want to, but you shouldn't. You probably shouldn't. You should probably get away from the text and just watch it and just experience it. And that's in most plays. Like, no, you should start with the text. You should pay attention to that and go from there. And so that just works better for my brain.
Well, in a lot of musicals, there isn't a lot of text other than the lyrics.
Right. And some of them are just like, you're not really meant to dwell on the plot that closely.
Mandy, I think your background too is probably primarily musical theater. So what is it like when you branch out and go for a play rather than a musical?
So I have been a musical theater girl. I have been a chorus girl and a spangly leotard and the kick lines like that.
Haven't we all, Mandy?
Haven't we all? And it's always something I've loved. I have 2 music teacher parents, so like that was the world I grew up in. But then like Jess, I went on to study English. My degrees in English, my degrees in writing. And I love plays because they're the middle ground between my love of live performance and my love of literature. Because like you said, the text matters so much. It matters so deeply. And I got to experience that this summer. I was in Othello in Frontier Park. And it was a big challenge for me as an actor because I'm used to being big and smiley and doing my step touches, my box steps, So when I get to be so deeply challenged as an actress by the rich text, it just scratches an itch deep in my brain.
And Oren, I think this is your first non-musical, right?
Yeah, it's been hard. I was not considering auditioning, and I just decided to, and I got the role. So,
and I promise you, there will be no choreography in this one. So,
thank you.
I couldn't, even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it. So, I do want to give everyone a quick update here because we've made a little bit of a jump. We have actually gone all the way up. So the graphic behind you can just ignore for now, unless Kate wants to make her way over to the laptop. But we'll see. We are now up to $31,653. So that's a nice size jump there, almost $4,000. Well, more than $4,000. So we are making progress today. Again, eriegives.org is where you can make those donations or call 814-454-0843 to make your donation by phone as well. Over the Tavern, folks, I am so looking forward to working on this production. It's such a funny show. It's going to be a great time. It opens November 6th, so we've got a little bit of time, but it'll be here before we know it. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to add?
I'm just so excited.
This is going to be an amazing show. My first play, but yeah, it's going to be super good.
That's the spirit. I love that. I love that attitude. I will ask one final question, and I'm going to ask, well, I'll just ask everybody. What is it about the Playhouse that brings you back? Why do you keep coming back and auditioning, or what is it about the Playhouse that makes you want to be a part of what's going on here?
The community, first of all, the friends I make, and just they make amazing things happen here. So I just like coming back, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, we couldn't do it without volunteers like you. So thank you for being here, Oren. Mandy?
The other day, somebody asked me when I started doing Playhouse stuff, like when I started coming around the Playhouse, and I realized I didn't remember because my mom used to she's vocal directed a lot of shows. My parents, you know, when they were first married, before my sister and I started playing in the orchestra, and like my earliest memories are sitting on my mom's lap in the orchestra pit while she played the piano, just watching shows, just sitting on her lap and watching her turn the pages and seeing what was going on. And to me, I don't know not being at the Playhouse. I've always been here. I've probably sat in every seat in the house, and I've probably tried every snack in the concession stand. The Playhouse to me is more than a building. It's a group of people. It's community. It's a home, and maybe it's a lifestyle.
I love that. Jess?
Because you work here.
You have no choice, right?
Because it is how we pay our mortgage.
Yeah.
No, truly, the Playhouse she's exactly right. It's not a building. It's not a location. It's a community of people. And I think this is a community of people that's worth investing in. And it's an organization that's meant to outlive every single one of us. And I think the way that the stewards of this organization right now are really focused on making sure that this organization, this place, this home outlives all of us and continues to serve this community well into the future. And it's really important because some people don't have a home base in their actual homes. So this is home base for them. And I might not have never needed that to be that case for me, but I know people that have needed this to be their home base. So whatever I need to do to make sure that this place is successful and continues to exist, I will always do. I think this is a great place. I mean, the butterfly effect of I wouldn't still live in Erie if this place wasn't here, because had I not auditioned, quite literally, like had I not auditioned for the producers before my senior year of college, had I not met you, I would not have applied to Gannon for grad school. I would not have stayed in Erie. I would have graduated my senior year of Mercyhurst and moved back to Ohio. Like I would not have remained in Erie. Yeah. So like the butterfly effect of like literally keeping me in Erie. But then also in the last 20 years, like it's very much proven its worth to me again and again and again. And like, no, it's not perfect. And it goes through fluctuation and changes and ebbs and flows and ups and downs. And it's like anything else. It's not going to be perfect. And it's never going to be 100% making the right call all the time, every single time. But people's hearts are in the right place. And like I said, the current stewards of this organization really care about it. And they really care not just about this place, but these people that it serves and the people that it's going to serve in the future. And I think that that's always worth protecting because people need this place.
Yep. I was just going to say that not only did we meet and kind of choose to stay in Erie because of the arts community, because of the Playhouse, but we actually did move away for a year and then moved back when this job
for you to
presented itself.
Yeah.
And,
once they hired you on for this job, that's the only reason we moved back. Like it has
thanks
quite
for
literally
moving back with me. I appreciate that.
I mean, I had debated. I thought about it.
She waited 2 weeks to make sure it would, make sure it was working out. But once again, folks, thank you to Oren, to Mandy and Jess, and to the other cast members from Over the Tavern who are not with us today. But that show, Over the Tavern, will open on November 6th, so plenty more to come from that. Before we wrap up, I do have another update on the screen behind me. You can probably see it. We are up to $32,678. That is absolutely awesome. We are so grateful to each and every one of you who've given so far today. Again, eriegives.org or 814-454-0843. It's coming up on 2:30 here at the Playhouse. We will be back at 3 o'clock. I believe we're talking Frozen and so much more. So we'll see you at 3 o'clock from the Playhouse stage on Erie Gives 2026.